Luis Suarez, a footballer whose career has often been surrounded by drama and heated debate, is still remembered for being at the center of one of the most unforgettable and controversial incidents in the history of the FIFA World Cup. During the 2010 quarterfinal clash between Uruguay and Ghana, Suarez made a desperate intervention that changed the course of the game and left a lasting scar on Ghanaian football history. In the dying moments of extra time, DOMINIC ADIYIAH'S header was about to cross the line and secure a historic victory for Ghana, a moment that would have made them the first African team to ever reach the semi-finals of the World Cup. However, Suarez deliberately stopped the ball with his hand on the goal line, an action that was immediately punished with a red card. The punishment, though deserved, was not enough to erase the pain that followed for Ghana. The referee awarded a penalty to the Black Stars, and with the weight of a continent's hopes resting on his shoulders, ASAMOAH GYAN stepped up to take the spot kick. In a heartbreaking twist, his powerful strike rattled against the crossbar instead of finding the net. The miss forced the game into a penalty shootout, where Uruguay capitalized on Ghana's missed chance and advanced to the semi-finals, leaving Ghanaian players, fans, and the entire African continent devastated and in disbelief. In Ghana, Suarez quickly became a hated figure, seen as the man who stole away their chance at making football history. His act was not only condemned for being unsportsmanlike but also for the manner in which he reacted after GYAN's missed penalty. Instead of showing regret for his handball, Suarez was caught celebrating passionately on the sidelines when Uruguay eventually won the shootout. That display of joy was viewed as adding insult to injury, making him an even greater villain in the eyes of Ghanaians. Over the years, Suarez never expressed any remorse for the incident. He has consistently maintained that his decision was a sacrifice he made for his team, and he has always shifted the responsibility of the missed opportunity onto Ghana, insisting that GYAN's failure to score the penalty was the real reason the Black Stars were eliminated. 12 years later, at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, Ghana and Uruguay once again found themselves drawn into the same group, setting up a much-anticipated rematch that reignited old wounds. The game carried enormous emotional weight, and the build-up was dominated by memories of that fateful night in Johannesburg. When Suarez was asked about the handball ahead of the encounter, he responded with defiance, showing no signs of regret. He stated that he does not apologize for that moment because, in his view, he was punished with a red card and had done his part. He emphasized that Ghana's fate was sealed by their missed penalty, not his handball, and argued that he only ever apologizes if he causes injury to another player. To him, the matter was settled long ago. His comments came even after a Ghanaian journalist reminded him that many people in Ghana still see him as a hated figure, even calling him the devil himself. For Suarez, the controversy is part of the game, and he believes Ghana has only themselves to blame for their misfortune. For Ghanaian fans, however, the bitterness and frustration have never faded, as the memory of that moment continues to haunt their footballing history. Suarez's antics, particularly his celebrations after the shootout win, remain one of the most infamous examples of gamesmanship in the sport. Uruguay went on to lose in the semi-final to the Netherlands in 2010, but Suarez's actions ensured that his name would forever be remembered in Ghana with anger and resentment. As the 2022 rematch approached, the idea of revenge naturally became part of the narrative. Supporters and the media spoke about the match as more than just a group stage clash, but rather as an opportunity for Ghana to settle an old score. Yet, inside the Ghanaian camp, the tone was different. Captain Andre Ayew, the only player from the 2010 squad still active in the national team, addressed the issue by playing down the notion of revenge. Ayew, who himself had lived through the heartbreak of 2010, expressed that while the pain of that elimination had been immense, the focus now was on the present. His goal was to lead Ghana into the knockout stages of the tournament, and he made it clear that he did not want his teammates to dwell on the past. Instead, he urged them to approach the game with determination, discipline, and the ambition to progress, rather than being consumed by thoughts of retribution. Nevertheless, the stakes of the match were undeniably high. Ghana knew that a win against Uruguay would guarantee their advancement into the next round, while a loss would leave their fate hanging on other results, particularly South Korea's game against Portugal. If Uruguay and South Korea both won their matches, then goal difference and goals scored would become the deciding factors, with South Korea holding a slight advantage. This created an atmosphere of immense pressure, with the historical rivalry only adding to the drama. Ultimately, the clash between Ghana and Uruguay in 2022 was about much more than football. It was about history, memory, pride, and the unhealed scars of one of the World Cup's most dramatic moments. For Ghanaian fans, the match symbolized the chance to rewrite a painful chapter, while for Suarez, it was simply another game where he stood firm in his belief that he had nothing to apologize for. The bitterness, the controversy, and the unfinished business meant that this group stage fixture carried the weight of a rivalry that had been simmering for more than a decade, reminding the world of just how powerful football's stories and emotions can be.